Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today I am building a house for three sisters who I created. I kind of did a video a while ago about creating different sims, the same sim in different aesthetics, and I decided to make them sisters, and I was looking to explore gameplay with some of the newer packs that I got, and I wanted to use them as my main characters. So I decided to build a house for them. I also I'm going to use them as kind of like to explore gameplay and basically explore some of the newer packs that I got that I haven't really played with yet. But anyways, yeah, I decided to build the house for them, and as you'll see that this the structure of the house came together very quickly, pretty quickly. That is in due part to the fact that I was using um, kind of like a reference picture that I found on Pinterest. So I didn't end up copying the entire build, just something that inspired what the structure of this turned out to be. I'm gonna put the reference picture at on the screen just for a moment here, so you can see what I mean. So I did take some influences you see from maybe the placement of the fireplace the thing that I'm currently doing, the placement of that, and just some a little bit more detail. But yeah, that's what inspired the structure of the house. So yeah, I did struggle. You see, I wanted initially intended to go with darker wood color for the exterior, but I ended up going with white. I thought it fits a little bit more. Also with the paneling, I don't really use paneling when I'm building. To be honest, I wanted to try something different because it has been a minute since I not only built but it played The Sims at all. I've had a lot of shit going on, so I haven't really had time to sit with the game. So this is kind of like a return for me since February, I think, was the last time I played the game. And yeah, we're almost to the end of March. So yeah, this was it was very well, not happy for me. It was very easy, I would say. It was easier than I anticipated to come back to build because I haven't really have been doing a lot of gameplay, which I also decided to put on pause for the time being, because everything was just I was a bit overwhelmed with stuff that was going on, so I didn't really have time for that. But yeah, I'm back with the game now. As I mentioned earlier, this is for a family of three sisters, and I kind of have like a backstory for them based on what their aesthetic is. So um there's gonna be a main sim from the three sisters. I'm gonna put the video card of the cast video that I uploaded. I'm just gonna put it there in case you want to reference that. But anyways, I have the three sisters. I cannot remember their name at this current moment. But there's one that was the office siren. There's one that was the clean girl, and there's one that was the e girl. So each of them have like the my main sim out of those three is gonna be the office siren because I just really loved her style. When I was creating her in cast 2, it was kind of new for me at that time because I don't really I tend to go with easy when creating my sims or things that I'm familiar with. So I had to research on all of these aesthetics and you know create something. So I was intrigued by her because I gave her the I think it's Macarve, the one that came with Life and Death, the one that is fast. I can't remember, but I gave her that one that kind of has like this different pose when you upload them to the gallery. So I want to explore her story. I have no idea what I'm gonna do or whatever she's gonna do yet. It's just I just thought it was gonna be interesting to play as the three sisters who just moved to Ravenwood, which is where I'm building, by the way. You would see the name of the actual lot on the top left corner of the screen. But yeah, it is in Ravenwood. and I wanted to explore that. I also just got the businesses and hobbies pack in addition to that. And I was also, this was also kind of like a method for me to um, explore the items in both the life and death and the businesses and hobbies pack. Because although I think I have built with some of the items in the life and death pack, I didn't really explore it like everything. So yeah, you'll see that there's some new items, and you'll see me placing down random items at times. I'm just taking a look at it because that's literally my first look at the items of the pack. So this building is mainly focused on life and death and the businesses and hobbies items. I did use some other things from base game like this wallpaper, but the flooring I just placed down, I believe, is from life and death. And I wanted to go with kind of a dark, moody aesthetic, which I try to avoid. I'll be honest, but because I feel like most of my builds are usually neutral, darkish. I like black and white a lot, so I tend to use those a lot. I do try to introduce variation with my colors, but I tend to stick with the ones that I'm familiar with. But anyways, yeah, it ended up being moodier than I anticipated, but yeah, it was fine. I liked how it turned out, and I also try to decorate based on what I believe their aesthetic is. So the way I didn't clutter a lot. Um, I didn't clutter a lot in the way that I decorate. What I typically do not clutter a lot. But yeah, I tried to introduce variation in the clutters that I did add. The reason for not cluttering as much is I believe the one with the clean girl is gonna be kind of a neat freak, and she likes things placed out of sight. Which I don't know much about the clean girl aesthetic. I just saw pictures and stuff on the dressing, so I don't know if that is um actually factual, but that's what I wanted to do. So that's what I did. And yeah, I let it moody. I tried to decorate their rooms, which turned out smaller than I anticipated, but I tried to decorate the rooms according to how I felt the girls are going to be. I'm going to take a break and talk about this that you're seeing on the screen right now. This gave me a lot of issues. And also, I'm going to quickly apologize because my camera, everything was just giving me issues. Maybe because I hadn't played in a little while, but my camera was very wonky. You're going to see it deviate a lot, and I did try to cut out a lot of it, but I don't think I got everything. So excuse that if you happen to notice it. But yeah, the roof gave me serious issues. I ended up having to change that area of the roof. I think I used the half gabled instead of the full one at the end of the day. But yeah, it kept breaking into the rooms and stuff. And I did know when I placed it down initially that it was probably going to have issues, but I didn't anticipate it to be that that much of an annoyance for me, really. But anyways, yeah, that's what I that's the issue I wanted to talk about, and I can't not remember what I was talking about before I deviated. Yeah, the girls. So the bathroom, I loved this bathroom. I don't think I've ever used this tile, or maybe I have, but not in this um color for the wallpaper. But I really liked how it looked with the gold and the white accents. It still was kind of moody, but not like dark moody. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if you can feel the vibe from um the screen, but it ended up being what I wanted it to be. And I did design the bathrooms first because I really wasn't sure what the vibe was going to be. When I placed the wallpaper for the rest of the house, I kind of knew that I wanted it to be a certain way, but with the bathrooms, I kind of experimented a bit before I ended up doing going with what I went with. But anyways, yeah, that's what that is about. And I kind of get um, well, uh, a little bit nervous about voiceovers because I tend to not talk as much, and I don't know what to talk about. And I've seen, I see other people, well, like I watch other creators doing voiceovers and for like 40 minutes videos, and I'm like, why? How are you able to talk for that long? Because I think I'm running out of things to say, and I'm just looking at the screen and wondering what else I should go about. Go about? No, I should talk about. But anyways, yeah, this is me decorating the bathroom, and I try to make most of the art pieces and the mirrors in the bathroom kind of have like that feature. Mostly in an art gallery. That's where I first saw it, anyways. Then I saw it at a friend's house. But basically, where you place the art and you put kind of like lighting above the art to kind of illuminate the art piece. You'll see me do it in a short while in the kitchen. But yeah, for this kitchen, I loved how big it. I wanted a big kitchen for them because in my mind, one of them ended up being like really good with a really good cook. And yeah, I loved the color of this. I just love the moodiness. I love a moody house. This is ideally the color scheme I'm gonna go with, or one of the color schemes I'm considering if I had a house of my own. But yeah, you saw me just now place the cabinets, not cabinets, the shelves. This I don't know what they're called. I can't remember the names, but I placed two of them side by side, and you'll see me go back and clutter the topmost ones because I initially was going to leave them, but then it felt a bit too repetitive for me, and I do like to bring elements of reality into my builds sometimes, just to the way it's going to be with an actual person. So I did end up going back to clutter, which was a bit of, well, it wasn't that stressful. It was easier than I anticipated, but it was still is to give me some problems. But yeah, it's fine. You did see me go and place the tea kettle and the coffee machine side by side. That's another trick that I did where you place those items on another counter, shrink the counter down, and then move them to wherever you want them to be. Because I wanted it to be placed. I don't like the spacing when they're placed on different counters, and it didn't look realistic enough for this build. So I ended up placing them side by side. Now I'm not sure because at the moment of recording this, I have not placed play tested. Oh my god, I haven't play tested this build, and I'm not sure that is going to be functional. I have done it in the past, but I didn't. The way I placed it, I knew it wasn't going to be functional because that was basically just for decoration. But this I haven't play tested, so I'm not sure it's going to be functional. But it looks good. At least it looks good. Um, yeah, I also had, like I said, I didn't clutter it a lot, but I wanted to add a little bit more elements to this kitchen, and I loved the way it turned out. I think it's a very simple, well, not maybe not simple, not very simple, but it's a simple kitchen, and it turned out exactly what I wanted. The next thing that I had kind of like an issue with is the living room, which I have just moved to. Now this is a huge living room. I don't know. I have this thing of creating like big living rooms, and I did consider putting other rooms here when I was deciding on the floor plan, but I didn't like how that was going to turn out. I didn't it ended up being too squishy, so I decided to leave it open concept. But then this entirety of area that I'm decorating now is what ended up being the main living room, and then I have all of that space behind me with no idea of what to put there. But I figured it out. I created another smaller living room, kind of like a sitting area just in the back of this couch. And I added a bar. I think there's an ottoman and a dining area, so just to the back of that. And I put a bookshelf and some other things there. The reason I chose this spot, this initially wasn't going to be the living room area, but I remembered that I put a fireplace thin behind this wall on the exterior, and I like to have it. I like to have my fireplaces inside, relating to the ones on the exterior. I don't know if that made sense the way I just said it, but yeah. So I ended up going with this area. So look at how big that space is. I was struggling to decide what I wanted for the rest of the area, but I think I figured it out. I also added kind of like a display of I put two tables. I made them like nesting tables, and I added like a big vase with um, plants. With a plant, I kind of manipulated it a little bit to make it fit, and I added a little animal with a flowers at the end. You'll see it in a little while. But yeah, at this point, I was struggling. You see me going to clutter. I typically tend to not clutter until I have everything figured out, but I'm cluttering because I didn't know what to do with the rest of the space. But yeah, like I said, I decided to go with a tinier living room, kind of. I was picturing if maybe their friends came by um, to visit them, or maybe they had a party or something, and there's a bar there. They can get their drinks and sit around here and discuss, or just hang out, not necessarily sitting in front of the fireplace. And speaking of, I didn't also want to add a TV. Initially, I'm thinking of making of doing build challenges. I have seen a couple on YouTube by other creators, and I always think they're fascinating. So a build challenge I want to do is to not have any technology, which is quite, oh my god, which is quite basic, I realize, but I gotta start somewhere. I've seen more extreme ones where you only have to place an item once and not use it again. I've seen one where you have to place only the first swatch and not change it, stuff like that. And I'm building up to it, but yeah, I'm gonna try it. But yeah, I didn't want to put a TV in the first instance because I feel like my Sims nowadays, well, not nowadays, I haven't played in a while, but whenever I play, they're always kind of fixated on the TV to gain their skills, and I want them to explore other skill gaining methods. Speaking of skill gaining, I didn't put a lot of, well, I think I did, but I kind of pictured each sim have a specific skill or a specific hobby that they like. For this sim, this is the clean girl aesthetic sim. I honestly cannot remember their names. It's been a while since I created them, but I was just thinking of them and I wanted to play with them. But anyway, for the clean not clean girl, sorry, the office siren. This is the office siren's bedroom. She's the one with the ensuite bathroom. But for the office siren aesthetic, I wanted her to. I think she's an artist. I put a drawing tablet on her side table, which you see. And then for the clean girl, I think I gave her photography. And then for the e girl, I gave her music. But anyways, I wanted that to reflect. I'm still not sure what their jobs is going to be, or I don't really have much of a storyline planned out. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna play by the air. What? No, I'm just gonna play by the air and see what happens. Sometimes that's best. I do have other game like I wouldn't say maybe forever safe files because they have been going on for a while. I have three currently, which kind of they're varying. One is a celebrity, which she's just about to pass on with her husband, who is actually Kyle Carlson, and they have five kids. And the other one is the pancakes, which I think I uploaded a reel the other day and like showcased them and their children the way I recreated them. And then the third one is a sim family that I created by myself. But yeah, I just wanted a bit of variety to explore other packs, which is why I also created that gameplay challenge, the Eden Worlds, which I'm not done with it yet. I'm still working on creating it, but but I haven't been playing The Sims for a while, so I haven't really made any progress on either of my gameplay challenges. But yeah, I think it's sometimes good to just sit down and just go where your sims take you and not necessarily have to control everything. But anyways, this is the e-girl's bedroom. I wanted it to be dark and moody, and I think she has like her main colors are black and blue. She has blue hair, so I try to reflect that. The clean girl bedroom is one I struggled with a little bit because I had trouble deciding on the wallpaper. I didn't want it to be too out there. I wanted it to be clean girl. But I ended up going with that pattern because I really liked it. I feel like it's still it's still giving clean girl, just with the patterned wallpaper. But yeah, that is what I decided. And also for this e-girl, she's the only one I gave a computer. I decided if they needed to use it, then they probably would have to go to the library because I'm trying to explore more of worlds. Typically in my builds, I tend to put everything that they need. So books, easels, computers, all of the things they need. I tend to put it in the build so they tend to not go out, except for maybe they have like dates or stuff like that, then they go out. But usually they tend to just stay in the house for the entirety of their life. So yeah, I didn't put as much of skill building items in this one because I wanted them to be able to go out and explore their surroundings and just mingle. Because yeah, that's what I did. This is the camera issue that I was talking about. It gave me a lot of stress. um but yeah, I am just about done with the interior. You're gonna see me go to the exterior in a little bit. For the exterior, I didn't really do much landscaping. I wanted to kind of reflect the environment that I'm building in. And they did have this pretty colorful trees that I found in the Life and Death not debug life edit, which I placed down with some of the flowers that I saw around. And for most of the houses in the surrounding area, they're kind of plain grass and just with those little bits that I mentioned. So I reflected that. And I think it turned out well. It was definitely good for me because I'm not very good at landscaping, which I'm trying to get better at. But yeah, I think it turned out well, at least for this build. It kind of is clean on the house side too, which I think is also a reflection of the clean girl, because she likes to keep things tidy. I know that's probably not the exact definition of clean girl, but that's what I'm taking away from it. That's what I'm taking away from it. Yeah, I added a few items on the porch. Is this considered a porch? The wraparound porch. I added a few items, just a chest table and a small grill, and I'm going around now with the outside lighting. And yeah, you will see me um, find those trees in the surrounding in a little bit and put them in. Um, yeah, I'm also matching. Do you know how it is very annoying? I find it very annoying that those tiles outside, I'm trying to find a close enough match for. Like, why don't I have them? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you not give me the same tile that is on the surrounding so I can match it to the entrance of my house? And then I have to go and find, the most similar tile, which sometimes there isn't anything like that. But anyway, that is an annoyance for, I want to say, another day, because it's going to be another day. I'm going to build again and I'm going to find the same thing annoying. But yeah, I'm just going about putting some not landscaping, terrain paint on, adding extra grasses, and that should be about it. Um, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, I did add some vines to the one side of the house that didn't have any windows, and you will see me do that shortly. Also with some pipes and just some additional details. But yeah, that has been me for this build. I'm gonna take you to the tour now, and I will see you on my next Sim Source video. Bye.